For more on this, let's bring in one of the AGs leading the charge, Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry. Jeff, good to see you and congratulations on the big win. I know there's a lot of media attention around this decision. Again, that you have the White House and others saying there's disinformation on social media platforms in regard to COVID vaccines and masks, or the origins of COVID, which, by the way, that was disinformation itself. Were you surprised at the ruling?
No, I was elated at the ruling. We were pleasantly surprised. I think it came on probably the best picked day of the year, that being the 4th of July, Independence Day. The judge issued a very detailed 154-page ruling. I would encourage Americans to go out there and take a look at it and read it. I mean, look, he lays it out. It doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican. What you find in this opinion was that the government, if you didn't agree with them, if you were not marching to their song, they would muzzle you. And what's amazing is that the response right now, Sean, is that people say, well, the government, will not be able to say what they need on social media, or they won't be able to interact with social media. That's not true. No one's muzzling the government. We don't want the government muzzling people.
Right. And actually, AG Landry, there are a lot of carve-outs in this opinion that allow for the government to have communication with the social media companies as long as they're not censoring free speech. So many are hailing this as a win for the First Amendment in this country. But procedurally speaking, what happens next? Because this was a temporary injunction.
Yeah, so this case is really in its infancy stages, which we can't wait to get more discovery, go out and have more depositions taken. No telling what we're going to find inside of more emails and more depositions. Remember, we deposed Dr. Anthony Fauci back right before Thanksgiving, Elvis Chan with the FBI. This is part and parcel of the evidence that the judge saw in granting this preliminary injunction. Now, I'm sure that the Department of Justice will try to take this case to the Fifth Circuit and lift this injunction. We intend to defend that. But again, this case is in its infancy stages, and we intend to litigate it.
Jeff, again, going back to this point, that you have a First Amendment and you have the federal government using social media platforms as their agents and saying, well, it's not us, but we're going to ask the social media to do for us what we can't do ourselves. It truly is a win for free speech. But I want to get to this. Democrats are still taking the air out of the airwaves to shout about conservative rulings from the court over the last week. Listen to this.
This far-right extremist imbalanced Supreme Court, which seeks to make history for all the wrong reasons. This is, if they were a caucus in Congress, they would be the bootstrapper, forced birth, don't say gay caucus.
I support expanding the Supreme Court because we have a radical, extreme supermajority on the Supreme Court that is out of touch with the American public.
These are the types of rulings that signal a dangerous creep towards authoritarianism and centralization of power in the court.
Jeff, how dangerous is this rhetoric?
They should read this judge's opinion. If they're worried about a centralized authoritarian government, the opinion lays out exactly what we have in the Biden administration. Look, it's amazing when liberals can't win in Congress, when they can't win in the public square, when the courts don't agree with them, then that means everybody else is wrong. Again, that's the core of this case, Sean. If you think about it, it just says, listen, as long as you agree with us and you echo our mantra, our mission statement, then you can be placed on social media. If you ask, if you question, if you debate our issues, then we're going to muzzle you. Now, what does that sound like? Can't be America.
Yeah, and it's amazing, Jeff, because AOC is basically saying the judiciary is taking too much leeway, right? Whereas it was the executive branch that took too much leeway. Actually, if you look at what's happened in some of these decisions, this is exactly how it's supposed to be, a system with checks and balances.
That's correct. Look, I mean, I could go out there and claim that the court over the last 30 years has just taken real leftist positions. Republicans could have complained the whole time the Rehnquist court was in place. They could have said, oh, we should pack the court because Rehnquist didn't agree with us. But that's not how the system works. We should have tension between the branches, and the Article 3 courts are a check.
So Jeff, is there how do you see this playing out? Where does this go from here? It's going to be appealed. Does this eventually get to the Supreme Court?
Oh, I think this case goes to the U.S. Supreme Court. I think that this, and I've been saying this since last year when we filed this case, that this could be the most important First Amendment case in modern times. It really can. And I would hope that the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately takes this case up and we're able to articulate the things that we found. I think they would all be appalled. Even the leftist jurists should be.
Yeah, and we're coming into an election year, so this is even more important than ever.
And it's always suspect, Jeff, when it seems like it's always conservatives who are getting censored by the government, but not liberals. Jeff, I know America is grateful for all of your hard work on this, making sure that our constitutional rights are protected. And we thank you here at The Bottom Line, and thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jackie.